There are millions of apps created in Microsoft Access, the original low-code platform. Now Microsoft Access can easily store its data in Dataverse and benefit from all of Power Platform's capabilities. And Nathan Helgren is going to show us how in this PowerCat Live. Welcome to PowerCat Live. My name is Phil Toppers from the PowerCat team, and I'm here with Nathan Helgren, Senior Program Manager on the Dataverse modeling team. Hey, Nathan.
Hey, how's it going, Phil?
It's going all right. Thanks for being here. Now, before we start talking about Microsoft Access, talk a little bit about your journey through Microsoft and how you got to your current role.
Sure. So I've been at Microsoft for 23 years this fall. So it's been a while. I've been through a lot of different groups. I did work with licensing, work with IT, work with a couple different groups. I've been a trainer, a UAT tester, and also a program manager. For the last 3 years, I've been here in the Power Platform team. Learning about all the capabilities we have and trying to put out new features that'll be exciting for people and get their data over onto Dataverse and just get us to an exciting place.
And speaking of learning, for those people out there that have watched any of the Dataverse videos on the Power Platform channel, if you close your eyes, you will recognize Nathan's voice. So talk a little bit about the feature you're going to show us today.
Yeah, so we're working with the MS Access team and trying to work with them to take the data that's in MS Access and make that, number one, more secure by putting it on Dataverse, which is backed by AAD and has role-based security, as well as then making it available for them to take mobile. So right now, Microsoft Access is used as a desktop client or remote access client. But by moving that data into Dataverse, they're going to be able to create mobile apps. They're going to be able to create workflows. They're going to be able to create virtual agents all on top of the data that they've been using up until now. So it gives them this great opportunity to take that data into the next step and do a lot more with the content they have.
So can you show it to us?
What I'll be showing is the migration. So the easy few click process to take your data that exists in Access today, put it on Dataverse, and it works immediately.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, great. So what I'm going to first show you is here we have an Access database. And this Access database has a couple of different tables related to it. If I go show you relationships, it's got a few different relationships. And I also have a form on top of it that lets me enter in data. We close these. I need to close the tables before I migrate it. I'll just pick the main table that we have that has relationships, and I would tell it to export into Dataverse. From here, it's going to let me pick my cases. I can pick all of them, or I can just pick one. I'm going to pick one because we have an ability for us to pull over related tables as well. As a matter of fact, if I go here, you can actually see these are all the tables it's going to move over with it. And then I can say, oh, I only want to have case owner, or I only want customers. So I can also pick and choose. So from here, I'm going to pick the URL where I want to export this data to. Also, you can create a link to the table after exporting. What that will do is that will let Access continue to see and use the data that sits in Dataverse once it's migrated. So you can keep using your form and use the form in Access to deal with the data in Dataverse.
So your Access app just keeps working, but the data is now in Dataverse.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, so I click Next, and we see the screen says validation complete. Looks like nothing happened, but what this really does is it checks all of the data in your tables to make sure that you're trying to pass over data types that we support and data sizes we support. Right now, we're doing the public preview coming up here in right around now in Ignite. And with that, we have some data types that we're still working on getting migrated over. We'll have some documentation online to explain which types and which sizes we don't support. But an example is long text. For long text, Access themselves have 1 gigabyte worth of text you can put into a field, and Dataverse has 1 megabyte. And so if you were above that 1 megabyte right now, it's going to say, oh, we can't move over this particular row because the data is too large. And then you can take a chance to go fix it or move forward and just leave that data where it is. But as you can see here, all the data that I have in place meets the criteria. And so I can just click OK. And the migration is going to start from here. So it's going to start looking at the tables and figure out what needs to be added in Dataverse. And then from here, it's just going to go through and start creating our content and start creating or moving our data over.
Okay, so we're back now. Nathan and I chatted for a few minutes while this ran its magic, but now it's done, right? So what happened, Nathan?
All right. So what it did is it went and took all of the tables and columns that exist here in Access and it replicated those by creating them in Dataverse. And once that was done, it moved over all the data and also made sure the relationships between all of the columns and tables are intact. So you'll get a message here telling you it's completely finished. As you see here, we've got a number of our migrated tables with a little link next to them, which means that these have been migrated over and are present in Dataverse and are being used by Access. And the Access client with the form will continue to work. Before I show you that working, let me pop over to Power Apps now. So we've got our Power Apps list of tables. If I refresh the screen here really quick, you'll see that all of the migrated tables are now present, and it will have my publisher ID assigned to it. So we've got case owner, cases, category, and you'll see my publisher ID there. And if I just open one of these, we can then go directly here to see the data. And if I go to the full view, you see that the data has been migrated over as we expected. So all the data is there.
All the data and the links too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all that's there. And as a matter of fact, right now, if I go back to Access in this form and I choose to add another piece of data, I'll just call this cat test just for a quick.
Nice.
Let's see. We'll say it's happening this time. And I'll just call this. I should probably capitalize cat, right? All right. Okay. So I'll just put in a couple pieces of data here and we'll save it. If I go back over to Dataverse and I refresh, you'll see, hey, here's my new one that we just created. The reason that that's showing up immediately is because it's actually using the form and Access to edit data in Dataverse. So they're connected immediately right now.
That's fantastic.
And now if I want to go ahead and start using this data immediately, I can create myself an app here in Dataverse. Let's see, in Power Apps rather. And so let's go ahead and create from data. And I will pick to create it from the cases table we just migrated over. So now that we're back in Dataverse, I'm going to create this app. So I'll go ahead and pick cases 1 and tell it to connect. And you'll see the little magic 3-page app that it pops up with and creates for us. As it opens up, you'll see, bam, there's our data. So we have all of our data here available for us.
That you just created in Access.
And just do a little play test. So let's add a new field here. We'll do cat Power App.
Proper capitalization. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. And we'll go ahead and just grab a date here in the future. And then you'll see here my drop-down work. It's pulling data directly from the related table for a case owner. And let's save this. And so here's Power App, Cat Power Apps.
Right.
And we'll tab back here to Access, go back to our cases. And you'll see that was the cat test we added here. Mm-hmm. And if I refresh, Cat Power App.
You just added a Power App, still going to the same data source that Access.
Exactly. So I wanted to demonstrate this to show you that the data source is there and it works immediately. Your forms continue to work immediately, and you can add data in either source and it shows up in both sources.
So this is pretty amazing, and it opens up a lot of use cases for Access. And I can see a lot of enterprises being happy to get this data off of people's C drives and into the cloud where it's replicated and backed up and all those things in Dataverse.
Absolutely. We've gotten a lot of feedback from IT pros where they're really anxious to move this into a space where they do have disaster recovery and they do have stronger security on this, just to make sure that they feel comfortable that the right people are getting access to the data.
So what do you have planned next for this feature, Nathan?
Well, we're going to be going live sometime after the public preview is happening. We're going to be adding in a couple new data types. So as I mentioned, there's a few data types we don't currently support. Yeah. So we're working on getting those last data types in. We're working on a number of different areas as well, improving performance. And then we're going to start looking at the possibility of, can we move over the queries that are already in Access and get those moved over into Dataverse? Right now, queries can't be moved, so you have to go recreate them. And also to see if there's any possibility of form migration. Now, form migration might be a little further in the future, but we definitely want to investigate, hey, if you've got some simple forms, can we just take those forms and build them as a Power App for you? And so those are directions that we want to go with this functionality. We think that it's going to be a great partnership with Microsoft Access and open up a lot of the different opportunities within the Power Platform for them. For example, Access doesn't have workflows, and it doesn't have virtual agents, and it doesn't have AI. And so we have all those features that are part of the Power Platform that now can be part of their data story with the content that started in Access.
Now that it's in public preview, if people want to try this out on their own, where do they go?
With the data for Dataverse, nothing needs to change. You're ready to go with Dataverse. You would just need to go and sign up to the Office Insiders program and set up your system to download the preview version of Microsoft Office. The preview version of Microsoft Office, or M365, will have the bits necessary in Access to be able to do this migration. So the way you'll know if you have it is really simple, is when you do the right click and you go to export. If you see Dataverse highlighted there, then it's ready. That's all you need to do is just update Office and just use your existing Dataverse environment.
And we'll have links to the docs that you're creating in the description, so people have all that as a reference as they move forward.
Absolutely. And for people who maybe are Access focused, who haven't spent a lot of time in Power Apps, we have a series of learning videos that give you snippets of information on how to create tables, how to do columns, what's available, how to do some basic features. And so those are all available on the website.
Yeah, the videos are very short and they're really quite good. So I'll put a link to that in the description as well. Thanks for taking the time to show this.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity. I really appreciate it. And I'm super excited for people to get on board and start using this and giving us feedback on what they think.
Thanks, Nathan.
All right. Thank you.